yeah, we have the bench press here. We have 6 categories that we are going to be reviewing, and then some instructions on volume, landmarks, rep ranges, sets, rest times, reps in reserves, deloads, and strength standards for you to follow to progress in this awesome fucking lift that is the dumbbell bench press. So starting with strength, you're building upon your absolute pushing fucking prowess using the dumbbell bench press. I think the greatest usage for the dumbbell bench press in the domains of strength is the fact that you are isolating each hand from another, so that we will expose imbalances in your pressing muscles, specifically in the pressing muscles that you are going to be using in other bench presses or in whatever other push exercise that you are using. And imbalances are a tricky fucking thing. Usually it's when one side is much weaker than the other side of your body that something breaks and something really bad can happen. So if you want to, the great thing on the dumbbell bench press as it relates to strength is exactly just that. It exposes your weaknesses and allows you to understand where are you fucking strong and where you are not. Without allowing one side to take the bulk of the load from the other side. But for developing your overall strength to the maximum, then it's a little bit worse than the standard barbell bench. So we are going to give a fucking 4 for the dumbbell bench press, especially because of that specific characteristic that allows you to understand where are your which of your sides is the weakest. And that allows you not only to keep progressing on whatever type of pressing that you are doing, but also managing your accessories to target that imbalance, to target that weak side, and improve upon your pressing quality and eliminating imbalances that might be limiting your progress. And for power, for those that don't know, is expressing strength through speed, meaning applying the maximum amount of force that you can with the minimum amount of time. And to develop upon your power, the main thing that you need is to be stable. So since you are using the same thing that is a bonus for overall strength, is a weakness for power. Because when you are not, the bar itself, the fact that is the both sides of the barbell are in contact with both of your hands, it generates extra stabilization when you are pressing. Also, when you lower the bar to your sternum, when it hit the sternum, even though you're not, there's the bounce, there's all other things there that might be counterproductive for overall strength. When it comes to power, that extra stabilization is actually good for you. So the increased amount of stabilization required upon your body for expressing power is not really ideal. And another thing is that with the barbell bench press, you can add chains, you can add bands. There's a lot of fucking things that you can do to introduce deep, extra variables to the height of acceleration that you are expressing strength through. So the standard barbell bench press is better for developing power, and adding those other variables like chains and bands will allow you to break through inertia and develop your fucking power better. So for developing your power, the dumbbell bench press isn't exactly the best option that you have, but hey, it's still better than most exercises. If you have a great technique, if you are really aware of your body and you have great coordination in the pressing movements, you can use something like a dynamic explosive reps to express power using the dumbbell bench press. It's just a worse option than using a standard barbell bench or other pressing movements that you have available to do that kind of shit. And moving forward, there's myofibrillar hypertrophy, the actual build of contractile tissue in your body, the building muscle size that will allow you to over time develop more strength and get really fucking bigger and fibrous, for that shit, the dumbbell bench press is king. It's even better than the fucking standard barbell bench, because with less fucking weight, you will be able to develop more myofibrillar hypertrophy than in a standard bench press. In a standard bench press, for you to develop a great chest and develop your triceps and everything involved in the pressing movements, you need to get really fucking strong, you know? You need to get crazy strong in the crazy strong is a way of saying, because the internet disrupted our notion of what really fucking strong means. When I was growing up, when I was 15, 16 years old, you went to a gym and a guy is fucking bench press above 225 pounds, above 100 kilos. You would look at that guy and think, yo, this guy is strong. But after the internet, now that we can see every single genetic phenom in the world pressing 600, and suddenly a 100 kilo bench isn't that impressive anymore. So yeah, so for myofibrillar hypertrophy, the dumbbell bench press is king for developing your chest. The incline variation even more so, because it's going to hit the clavicular head of the fucking chest even better. And for sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, which is going for extra reps, going for more than 12 reps usually, and really taking all the fuel from your muscles out and generating a ton of metabolic stress, going to failure, going to as many fucking reps as you can. For that kind of development, the dumbbell bench press is also absolutely incredible. So you understand the theme here. For hypertrophy work, the dumbbell bench press is second to none in developing your chest. You will, if you use cable crossovers, that kind of shit doesn't fly for chest development, because once again, the cables, when you are using cables in pressing movements, the pressing movements are not like the pulling, the pressing muscles are not like the pulling muscles. The pulling muscles, they work in a kinetic chain. They are all integrated with one another, and the kinds of stabilization that your own body can provide to you and allow you to recruit fast twitch muscle fibers, and which are the muscle fibers that are more susceptible to hypertrophy, it's way easier using a cable that is applying constant tension to the muscle. And when you are expressing strength in your pushing fucking muscles, they are not connected together. So there's a lot of fucking regions that the force will have to travel, where there will not be a muscle engage generating that, how can I say this, a clear sign, a clear pathway for the force to travel through your body. So in the dumbbell bench press and any other bench press, one of the main things you need to understand is you need to stabilize your core. You need to engage your lats and your back and let the force travel through your back and your lats, so you can reduce the levels of instability that the pressing muscle themselves, because they are not connected, we will always have. So if you are pressing without an arch and you just sit there on the bench extremely fucking flat, without engaging your hips, without engaging your fucking legs, just go there and boom, pump your fucking chest, you are limiting your capacity to develop your chest, because you need that connection. You need to develop a structure, a base from which you press upon. And moving forward in the dumbbell bench press is the range of motion. And that's another point where the fucking dumbbell bench press are absolutely awesome. The thing is, the barbell limits the range of motion that you can go to really emphasize stretching your fucking chest. And stretch mediated hypertrophy is really important. It's that overloading the muscle through that stretch position really yields gnarly fucking gains. So the dumbbell bench press, the barbell bench press, when you hit your sternum, there's really nowhere to go after that. But in the dumbbell bench press, since both dumbbells aren't connected to one another, you in the eccentric portion of the movement, you can simply rotate your fucking hands and allow the dumbbells to go even further and feel a fucking gnarly stretch to the chest, and that shit will yield awesome fucking results to develop the pecs primarily. So you will be using less weight than you use in a fucking standard barbell bench press, and you will put the chest through a bigger range of motion. So usually people struggle to develop the chest using the bench press, and for that reason the dumbbell bench press is so fucking great for hypertrophy, especially in the chest. And the fucking range of motion, you shouldn't be exaggerating the range of motion like a crazy person and trying to go all the way down, because when you are in this bottom position right here, when you are with the dumbbells right on the side of the chest, just feel a little bit of a stretch. Don't overemphasize the stretch like crazy, and then press it back up. But the range of motion is a little bit better than the standard range of motion of the bench press, which is already good. So a little bit over 4, not a fucking insane stretch to the fucking chest to deserve a 6, but it's pretty gnarly. And for injury prevention, the dumbbell bench press is also great. It's the same fucking logic that I said for strength. Because you can address the imbalances and it will expose the imbalances in your pressing muscles, you can then have a game plan to correct that fucking imbalances. And remember, guys, fucking imbalances are the main source of injury. Your shoulders get fucked up when your rotator cuffs are weak. If you have elbow pain, it's probably some real estate in the around the fucking elbow that is weak and generating imbalances. Every time you feel pain that you don't know why the fuck am I feeling this pain, start taking a look at your structure and see, well, okay, my triceps are fucking super strong, my biceps are not that strong, my brachialis is not super strong, the forearm flexors are super strong but the extensors are not. Then it's probably the fucking extensors that are causing the imbalance. In the shoulder, it's usually the teres muscles, the rear delts, and the rotator cuffs that are generating imbalances, because the fucking huge fucking front delts are overpowering the real estate in the region. So always go around the fucking injury and the place that you are having trouble with pain, and try to find a fucking weak spot, and then address the fucking weak spot. Pick a fucking exercise that you can do a lot of fucking reps, that you can apply isolation to it, and correct the fucking imbalance. And I guarantee that you will experience relief from pain doing that kind of shit, bro. So yeah, the dumbbell bench press is pretty good for injury prevention, not for the same reason that other basic compound movements are, because usually basic compound movements, they also allow you to put so much pressure into the system that it improves tendon quality, ligaments, improves the bone density. But this is not what the dumbbell bench press will be doing for you as it relates for injury prevention. What it will do is expose fucking weaknesses and imbalances in your pressing muscles, so you can address your training and find a strategy to correct that fucking imbalance and get fucking strong as shit. Woo! Let's go, bro. So yeah, that's the fucking stat sheet for the dumbbell bench press. It's from 36 potential points. It scored 28. So let's add a little beautiful number 28 to the score, and then let's see how you can use that fucking shit, the volume, landmarks, and the other characteristics of the movement. So yeah, the score for the fucking dumbbell bench press, 28. The other movement that we reviewed so far was the pull-up, and the pull-up scored a 34 out of 36, because pull-ups are gnarly, bro. You need to be doing fucking pull-ups. I even wrote a piece about pull-ups today that I thought to myself, yo, some people are going to get pissed with this shit, because I said, yo, if you don't do pull-ups, you are stupid as fuck. Oh, damn it. Let's move forwards. Okay, so MV, MEV, right below the fucking points. MV, MEV, MAV, and MRV. These are volume landmarks. How many sets you need to do to maintain your fucking pressing and everything you are trying to develop with your dumbbell bench presses. How many sets you need to do a week to maintain, to progress slowly, to progress rapidly, but with a little bit of with good fatigue management, and how many sets for you to fucking specialize in this fucking movement and develop as much chest as you fucking can. So, kaboosh. The MV for the dumbbell bench press is 3 to 4 fucking sets. So if you want to maintain the development that the movement provided you, it takes a little bit of work. You need to be doing the dumbbell bench press once or twice a week, at least once a week with 3 to 4 fucking sets, because the movement, it generates a lot of sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. And sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, you gotta remember, it decays pretty easily. So if you are not banging that shit constantly and weekly, week by week, it decays. So that first ballooning down that we feel when we take a bit of a time off from the gym, it's usually because of the adaptations that happened in the sarcoplasmic hypertrophy domain, which are your muscles getting accustomed to receiving a ton of fucking damage and shoving metabolites to combat that acidity, to combat that damage. And this provides cell swelling, and this cell swelling, it goes back down fairly quickly. But the good news about that is that it also swells swells it back up pretty quickly too. So yeah, 3 to 4 sets to maintain your fucking development with the dumbbell bench press. 5 to 6 sets you are already progressing slowly, and 7 to 9 sets you are doing a pretty good job of progressing with the dumbbell bench press. You will experience a lot of myofibrillar hypertrophy, sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, strength, power, whatever muscle quality you are trying to emphasize. And the limits for fucking pressing movements, and especially this move in particular, is right around 10 to 15 sets. Going too overboard in your pressing, it's always a bad idea for your shoulders. Your shoulders take a fucking beating in any heavy pressing, and more than 3 times a week hitting 5 fucking sets, or 5 times a week hitting 3 sets of the same pressing fucking movement, it's a little bit tricky on the recovery. You will probably start to overtrain if you go above that threshold. So that's it for the volume landmarks. And let's see rep ranges, sets, rest times, and reps in fucking reserve. The rep range is usually a little bit higher than in the standard barbell movement. If I was talking about the regular bench presses, I would say to you to go from 4 to 8 reps tops. Even 4 to 6 is staying within 4 to 6 in the barbell bench press is really intelligent to keep progressing, because to progress on the barbell bench you need to get fucking stronger. And going too high on reps, going to 10, 12 reps, you will progress, but you will progress way slower than if you emphasize a lower rep range. And in the dumbbell bench press, it's completely the opposite. Always focus on going for 8 to 12 reps or even more reps. It's more about feeling the fucking muscle working than just moving the fucking weights like in a standard barbell bench press. So the rep ranges for the dumbbell bench press go for 8 to 12 plus. You can go to failure, you can go crazy in this movement. It's a hypertrophy move, and it's potentially one of the best hypertrophy moves you can use for chest development. The sets is 3 to 5 sets, it's pretty standard. You will see that most of the exercises I will always say is, 3 to 5 sets. 3 to 5 sets is always a great number of sets for a single movement in a single workout. I would only suggest to go above that if you are doing like a specialized day. Let's say today I'm going to fucking squat. Today I'm going to just barbell bench and really focus on developing my coordination and ramping up the weights. And today it's bench day, it's squat day. Then you can go a little bit further. You can go to 6 to 8 sets, but 3 to 5, it's pretty good for the dumbbell bench press. Since we are not always for the rest time, since the dumbbell bench press allow you to use less weight than the barbell bench press and promote more hypertrophy, it's better for hypertrophy in every fucking category. Then the rest times are really lower, because the thing that increases rest times like crazy is when you are destroying your central nervous system, your capacity to express strength. If your central nervous system is not fresh before a set, you are really doing a disservice for yourself if you don't take your time to rest. So in a squat, in a deadlift, yo, rest 5 minutes, rest 10 minutes, rest as much time as you need to fucking perform. You need to maintain your performance and improve upon it. If that takes 10 minutes, yo, it's better to wait 10 minutes and hit your 5 to 6 reps fresh and introduce a gnarly stimulus to your central nervous system than resting 2 minutes and doing a fucking shitty job of stimulating your fucking body with a heavy fucking compound move. In the dumbbell bench press, it's completely the opposite. You are going for more reps and you can reduce the rest times to 2 minutes to 4, as long as you are hitting close to where you were hitting in the set before. That's a great rest time. So let's say if you aim to 10 reps in the first set and you rested for 2 minutes and then you are suddenly hitting just 6 reps, then rest a little bit longer and aim to hit at least 8 reps in the next fucking set. And lastly, reps in reserve. In the dumbbell bench press, just make sure that there isn't anyone around you when you are throwing the fucking dumbbells to the floor, and go pretty close to failure. You can go to failure 100% in this movement. Make sure you are not like grinding and you are in one hand is going further than the other. Try to focus on that idea of using the ability to isolate each side and use that to expose your imbalances. Focus on that. If there's an imbalance happening when you are pressing, that's the end of the set. You should either lower the weight and correct that imbalance, make one side catch up with the other, or if there's no imbalance and you can go fucking nuclear, go to as many fucking reps as you can. So at least 2 reps in reserve. This is not a movement for you to be conservative about going fucking crazy, you know. Every time we are talking about hypertrophy training and movements that emphasize a lot of fucking hypertrophy, you need to enter the mindset of the grinder, of going for grindy fucking reps. While in movements that emphasize a ton of fucking strength development, you don't need to grind at all. You just need to focus on being precise with your technique and aggressive with the reps that you are introducing to the exercise. So moving forward, there's the deloads. Deloading in the dumbbell bench press is pretty basic. It's the standard advice for any deload for anybody in the world. If you are a beginner, meaning if you are training for pretty much 1 year, you need to be deloading in the dumbbell bench press. This means reducing your volume by 50% and your fucking intensity by around 50%. I know that is fucking hard to do. You are accustomed to go in there and fucking bench pressing 225 and suddenly the next week you are going to go under 120. It's pretty mind-boggling. Why should you do that? So but do that. Always introduce your fucking deloads, because you need to refresh your systemic fatigue and your body requires that for you to keep progressing. In beginners, that is less of a priority. So every 4 months, every 16 weeks, you need to be introducing a deload. If you are starting to get a little bit stronger, you are an intermediate, you are training for 1 to 3 years, then every 8 weeks is more of the frequency you should be deloading. And when I say if you are an intermediate lifter, I assume you train correctly in those first 3 years and you develop gnarly muscles, you develop a good performance. And sometimes people don't understand that. When they think, yo, I'm an intermediate, I've been training for 1 year. Yeah, but you've been training for 1 year with the shittiest program in the world and have half-assed effort. So if you are in that position and you fucking didn't develop strength at all, then no, don't worry about deloads. You are pretty much a beginner. You can be training for 10 years and still be a beginner if you don't learn how to train properly. So, but if you did and you actually went there and developed fucking strength and size, then every time you hit the gym, it's a fucking havoc on your system. and more deload starts to be required for you to keep progressing. So that's why for the intermediate it's every 8 weeks, and for the advanced people, the guys that are fucking super fucking strong and big, and I'm not advanced myself, just to make it clear, every 4 weeks. Every 4 weeks you need to be deloading and reassessing everything, introducing a wave loading pattern and something to, or an accumulation phase if your goal is primarily hypertrophy, because the progression is never linear. It is linear only in the first year, and from intermediate on, the progression is not linear anymore. You need to be paying attention to a lot of variables of your training if you really want to milk the best fucking results that you can. And strength standards, which pretty much determines where you are sitting right now. And now that I think about, I should put the strength standards before the deloads, because then people already know what the fuck they are. So yeah, the strength standards is pretty much 0.5% of your body weight, 0.7% of your body weight is the threshold that you should aspire to be hitting with a dumbbell bench press as a beginner. You need to develop the strength to go to that threshold as fast as fucking possible if you can't right now. And from there you will be milking really sick gains, and this movement doesn't require you to be extremely strong, so you will notice that it's significantly lower than in the barbell bench press. For intermediate lifters, 0.90% of your body weight is a great goal to have. So for a guy, a tiny dude like me that is 170, that's pretty much 155. So two dumbbells to that amount, that combined are 155. It's fucking cake to press that shit. But the awesome thing is that with so little fucking weights, you can get insane fucking chest development from the movement. So I only don't do dumbbell bench press myself because I love barbell bench press, and the barbell bench press is one of my best lifts. So the ego boost that I get from the fucking barbell bench, I can't live without that shit. So I focus on the barbell bench press myself. But yo, suit yourself. If you want to develop your chest, if right now you are feeling that your chest is underdeveloped, use the dumbbell bench press. You don't need to be extremely strong to develop your chest with it. And for advanced lifters, 1.1% of your 110% of your body weight, it's pretty good. It's more than that, you are really specializing. Then you are being some crazy motherfucker like Larry Wheels and pressing insane amounts of weights in this fucking movement, bro. What can Potato Cat bench? The Potato Cat can't bench, bro. It can't bench. This cat, it simply cannot be away from my lap when I'm sitting on the computer. I tried. If I put her in the bedroom, like, and close the door, she destroys the fucking bedroom and makes a scandal for me to open for her, and she comes to my lap. So yeah, she's an integral part of the live stream.